Here we go again. In this problem, we're going to review over the basics of absolute values. Here's something to consider. Does the distance from your room to the kitchen and back from your kitchen to your room change? Hopefully the answer is no. So what are we trying to get at here? Well, basically, absolute values are distance, and distances are positive. So when we look at any absolute values, we want to think of positive values. Formally, absolute values of any number is the distance from 0 on the number line. So what do we mean by this? Let's take a look at our first example here. Here, we want to figure out, well, what's the absolute value of positive 4? Then what's the absolute value of negative 4? And in the end, to consider, does the absolute value of negative 4 equal to the absolute value of positive 4? So let's look at this first problem here in part A. What is the absolute value of 4? Well, first, let's find where 0 is at. 0 is right here in the middle. And let's find where the value of 4 is at. So over here. So what is this trying to show us then? Well, we're trying to see how many units from 0 that we move to get to 4. So we move the total of 4 units from 0 to the right to get to 4. So this tells us that this distance is 4. So that means the absolute value of 4 is equal to positive 4. Great. Next, let's look at part B. What is the absolute value of negative 4? Well, let's first find negative 4. There we are. And so we're trying to figure out, well, how many units we're moving from 0 to negative 4. So we're moving 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left from 0 to get to negative 4. So what does this mean for us? This means we have a distance of 4. So the absolute value of negative 4 is equal to positive 4. And lastly, it's asking, hey, does absolute value negative 4 equal to positive 4? Yeah, it does, because they're both the same distance from 0. Here's a few problems to take a look at. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to try these problems out. Are we ready? So here, in number 1, is asking us, what's the absolute value of negative 3? Oh, this is just positive 3. Here in number 2, what's the absolute value of positive 3? So be careful here. The common mistake here is to write it is equal to negative 3. So what's wrong with this? Well, the common mistake here is to think that absolute value is asking us for the opposite value. But it's not. It's actually asking us what's the distance. And the distance here is positive. So we're going to also get positive 3 here. So in the last two problems, in number 3 and 4, it's trying to ask us what's the absolute value of decimals and what's the absolute value of fractions. It doesn't actually matter. We're just going to always get back positive values. So in number 3 here, the absolute value of 2.5 is going to be also 2.5. And the absolute value of negative 9 over 7 would just be 9 over 7. And there you go. That's the basis of absolute values. It's just the positive distance from 0. And huzzah, we're done. There you go.